Why is the American military shooting something out of the sky over Canada?
Because it's part of NORAD. The NORAD is part of it's a what you call a coalition, a consortium,
a pact of nations.
A pact,
okay.
Exactly. And so that's why we were able to do that. Again, we didn't do it on our own. We did it clearly in step with Canada.
The soy master himself, Justin Trudeau, is out. But I want to dive a little bit deeper. Are we finally witnessing the decline and the end of wokeness in Canada, as our current White House press secretary so eloquently stated? So the fallout in Canada continues over Justin Trudeau's abrupt resignation a few days ago for the race for prime minister. And this is kind of a big deal because Canada is a really big country. Geographically, of course, it's the second biggest country in the world, but population-wise, it's not even in the top 40. But Canada is a major U.S. trading partner, is a very important Western nation on the global stage, and they couldn't have a more weak, effeminate, vaginal, just soy-laden leader than Justin Trudeau. And I can't believe the Canadians elected him, but it looks like the Conservative Party led by Pierre Poilievre, I might be butchering his name, it sounds French, so y'all forgive me, I speak very little French. He's going to be the front runner in the race for prime minister, and I want to just go over a few things that led to the decline of Justin Trudeau.
Over the holidays, I've also had a chance to reflect and have had long talks with my family about our future. Throughout the course of my career, any success I have personally achieved has been because of their support and with their encouragement. So last night over dinner, I told my kids about the decision that I'm sharing with you today. I intend to resign as party leader, as prime minister, after the party selects its next leader through a robust, nationwide, competitive process.
I mean, you can't get any more weaker than this guy. Very, very, very pro-LGBT. That's just what it is. He's been known as a staunch ally of these people, and that's what he wants to do. Then that's his business. And of course, we know that cities like Toronto and Vancouver, British Columbia, are probably the two most liberal cities in the country. Montreal is also pretty liberal. That's, a French-speaking province, Quebec. But Canada's got some issues, just like a lot of Western nations have issues. They're suffering from high inflation. The inflation is trending a little bit downward. We know COVID brought a lot of inflation throughout many, many countries, especially those of us that just keep printing money out of thin air. Overspending, that's a global problem. We all know that. They are also having a real serious crisis when it comes to the northern border. Immigration is an issue as well with some of the more nationalist, populist conservatives in the country. Even though Canada is not as conservative as some of your other Western nations, there is a very strong wing of conservatives in that country. And that says around 200,000 people were detained. And you just got to think about that in proper context. Canada's population is much smaller than America, so it's significant because their population is a little bit over 39 million, almost that of California's. And we've seen the consequences of wokeness. I mean, this is, a picture of the city of British Columbia where they have legalized, the city of Vancouver in British Columbia, where they have legalized narcotics like heroin, cocaine, etc. And I think there's a lot of pushback happening. Lots of drug overdose related deaths, lots of hospitalizations, etc., as you would expect. And of course, Canada's political system is not dominated by two parties to the extent of America's, but this poll here has the Conservative Party at 44.2% in the polling, the Liberal Party, which is Justin Trudeau's party, at 20.1%, and the New Democrats at 19.3%, and the Bloc Québécois is at 8.5%. I guess that's a French, party. But anyway, listen to the contrast of the masculine, strong, conservative leader who's running against the Liberal Party. Of course, Justin Trudeau is out, but this guy, Pierre Poilievre, he's going to be the front runner, and he most likely will end up winning the election later on this year if things continue to go the way they're going.
Good day. Canadians desperate to turn the page on this dark chapter in our history might be relieved today that Justin Trudeau is finally leaving. But what has really changed? Every Liberal MP in power today and every potential Liberal leadership contender fighting for the top job helped Justin Trudeau break the country over the last 9 years. All Liberal politicians actively worked to pass into law the job-killing inflationary carbon tax, a tax that Carbon Tax Carney endorsed in his book. All supported a law quadrupling the tax over the next 5 years. All voted for or actively supported Trudeau's out-of-control spending, debt, and immigration. All passed Trudeau's housing policies that doubled the cost of homes. All Liberal politicians helped pass catch-and-release bail and house arrest for the most rampant reoffenders. Policies that increased violent crime 50%, gun crime 116%, and hate crime by 250%. So given that Liberal MPs and leadership contenders unanimously supported everything Trudeau has done, why dump him now, right before an election? Have they had a change of heart? Is it because they feel guilty that they doubled housing costs, hiked taxes, unleashed crime, broke immigration, forced a quarter of the population into poverty? No. They continued supporting Trudeau when he did all of those things. No, their only objection is that he is no longer popular enough to win an election and keep them in power. They want to protect their pensions and paycheck by sweeping their hated leader under the rug months before an election to trick you and then do it all over again. Now, while leaderless Liberals focus on saving their jobs and fighting each other for power, the country spirals out of control, an out-of-control housing emergency, an out-of-control migrant crisis, an out-of-control $62 billion deficit, not to mention tariff threats from the United States. Oh, and another NDP Liberal carbon tax hike kicks in this April 1st. Everything's out of control, and now the government is out of control. This cannot go on. We need a carbon tax election now to choose between the NDP Liberal costly coalition that taxes your food, punishes your work, doubles your housing costs, and unleashes crime and drugs in your community. Or common sense Conservatives who will axe the tax, build the homes, fix the budget, and stop the crime. Canadians can take back control of their lives and their country. Take back control of our border, take back control of immigration, take back control of spending, deficits, and inflation. Take back control of our streets by locking up criminals, banning drugs, treating addiction, and stopping gun smugglers. We'll cap spending, axe taxes, reward work, build homes, uphold family, stop crime, secure borders, rearm our forces, restore our freedom, and put Canada first. All with one mission: to bring home Canada's promise that every hardworking Canadian gets a powerful paycheck and pension that buys affordable food and homes on safe streets where all are united for the country we know and love. Canada first, Canada last, Canada always. Let's bring it home.
Now, if you was to ask me, that was a kick-ass ad. I think he did a wonderful job with his little speech. And he just talked about some of the pressing issues that Canadians are facing every day. And he's just a sharp contrast to what you see with Justin Trudeau, the soy master. Beautiful wife, beautiful family. I'm assuming that he has a French ancestry based on his last name. I'm not a French speaker. Poilievre. I'm probably butchering it, but sorry about that if y'all speak French. But anyway, it's a lot of Western nations and nations around the globe that are pushing back on wokeness, especially in the West, because it seems to be the only part of the world where wokeness has kind of infiltrated all aspects of society. And never, ever, ever forget what Justin Trudeau did with the truckers. When they were trying to just keep the country running, when they were doing their jobs, those that did not want to bow down and succumbed to the vax mandates, this bastard was threatening to freeze their bank accounts. He was trying to stop them from working and earning a living because they wouldn't bow down and take the juice, even though I think Canada had an even higher jab rate than America, because, you know, Canada is a good bit softer than America. It just is. It's just not as rebellious of a nation. Americans are rebellious by nature. And you can only poke the bear so many times before the bear growls and attacks. You can only poke the bear so much, and that's what's happened. And the backlash against the wokeness is finally coming to a head. So instead of being a man, as Mr. Poilievre alluded to, why drop out now? Why drop out now, Mr. Trudeau? You can't take your beating like a man, and we know he can't because he's not a real man. He's a vag. He's a soy master. He's a beta. He's a cuck. It is what it is. So that's the end of the video. I'm not going to say a whole lot more. I think I'm at a good place to stop. I just wanted to dive a little bit deeper into what happened to Trudeau and why he's resigning in the middle of a election year instead of staying the course. So we'll see who they put up. I want Canada to be successful. A strong Canada is good for America. Y'all like, y'all share, y'all subscribe. Peace.